I'm assuming I'm live. Hello everyone. I'm gonna do some quick, marketing, if you will. Okay, it's more of shameless shilling. But I'm here. Hello everyone. We don't have anyone, so please pardon my silence. But hi, it's been about a week. Hopefully I'm gonna be streaming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Friday. No, not Fridays. Wednesdays and Thursdays. That should be that's the right days. Those are the right days. I had no idea how. But I can't say there's a whole lot going in my life that I'd like to share to the public. But I've been playing Pikmin 4. I've been procrastinating on finding Lily. I personally think we should just let him rot. Well, I suppose I can get space. Well, sorry about that, everyone. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, every time I try and have a corporeal form, the internet does not allow me. I wonder if I'm just meant to be a voice in the void. Not that it's a bad idea. But unfortunately, voices in the void don't, well, there are a lot of upsides to not having a corporeal feeling and just being a disembodied voice, but there's lots of disadvantages. But anyways, today we are going to be trying to explain JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I can't say these words. Now, originally, I would have liked to say the chat votes on which words, but, there's not a whole bunch of chat here. That's okay. So I'm gonna do it myself. Okay. Gonna do a little bit of messing around with OBS. Text. Okay, so, is there a way? There's gotta be a way to edit this. There's gotta be a way to edit this. Guess not. So right now we're going to start on Phantom Blood. So I cannot say the words Dio, Jonathan, Stone, Mask, and Hamon. See? Alright. Let's start. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, Phantom Blood. So, back in, I want to say, 1890s, England, UK, whatever, there once was a sad man named George Joestar who got in a carriage incident and his wife, Mary Joestar, died and left her kid, John. Wait, no, that has the word Jonathan in it. Gonna have to restart. Long ago, 1800s, late 1800s, England. Not Joseph, wrong guy. George Joestar got in a carriage crash, and then his wife, Mary Joestar, died. Not a great start to our protagonist. I can't call him JoJo, can't call him Johnny, because that's a different guy, actually. Can't call him John, because that has the word John, because it's in Jonathan. I'm gonna have to come up with a name, what should I call him? Lord Joestar, because he's a noble. Anyways, Lord Joestar and George Joestar are the only survivors. Not great. And some guy, Dario Brando, he's like, hey, I'm gonna rob this dead guy, but George is like, oh, thanks, you saved me. Well, that wasn't what I was planning, but we'll adapt. And George is like, oh, Mr. Brando, we are in your debt. Just here. Contact me if you ever need anything. About 12-ish years passed, and, Dario has a son. Who's the actual worst. I'm not even exaggerating, he's just the worst. So, Dario's son shows up, and kicks Lord Joestar's dog, later then burns said dog alive in a furnace. This is all still the first episode. Kisses Lord Joestar's crush, who, like the first class badass she is in Victorian England, or I think it's Victorian, 1800s England. Wipes the kiss off with mud, like the badass she is. She doesn't get enough credit. She deserved more screen time. She deserved better. Okay. And eventually, Lord Joestar, he goes to avenge his girlfriend, and, blood gets on, 1 second. Mask synonyms. The rock veil, gets blood on it, and it shoots out the wound. Well, barbs, a spine, something. Great. And then why is the category music? Alright, I'll fix it later. And another, I don't know, they're 18 next. And Lord Joestar's like, I think my brother is poisoning my dad. By the way, Brando and Lord Joestar are adopted brothers, basically. And still a lot of people think they should kiss and do stuff more than kissing, like chess. I don't care if they're not related, they're still brothers, it's weird, and also they both kind of hate each other. Anyways, Papa Joestar, he's getting kind of sick, and Lord Joestar, now an adult, is like, I think Dio's behind this. So he goes into middle of nowhere, middle of the streets, shady back alleys in London or something. I don't know UK geography. Anyways, then he runs into best character ever, Speedwagon, Robert E.O. Speedwagon, and they both bust down the door, and he's like, I knew it, you're poisoning my dad. And Brando is like, I reject my humanity, and then puts on the lock veil and turns into a vampire. And then the house burns down. And somehow, and Papa Joestar, he's dead. But somehow Dio is, I have to restart. Okay, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1. So, the Joestar family has had a string of bad luck. The wife to George Joestar died. They only have a son, and there's some shady guy who tried to rob their bodies, but apparently, grave robbing, vehicular robbing, I don't know. Something like that. But apparently robbing is how you get, robbing some guy is how to get your son sent to live at a fancy place somewhere in 1890s England, roughly. 10 years passed, and Dario finally sends his son over, and it's bad. So, I forgot to mention this, but during that carriage crash, there was, other than, George Joestar, was his son, who I can't name because of the stream rules. I'm gonna call him Lord Joestar. So anyways, Lord Joestar, he detests the fact that he has to grow up with Dario's son, because, well, upon meeting said son, kicks Lord Joestar's dog, later burns said dog alive, and kisses his then girl and kisses his future wife, and she wipes it off. She wipes the kiss off with mud, like the first-class badass she is in 1890s England, I think, in a manga written in the 1980s. Listen, I think Alina is cool and she deserves better. Anyways, years pass, and these two guys, the adopted brothers, they're adults now. And Lord Joestar, he's like, I think my brother is poisoning my dad. So he goes off to the shadiest parts of London, which is all of it. Am I allowed to make that joke? And finds an apothecary to cure his dad. And then he runs into best character ever, Speedwagon, Robert E.O. Speedwagon. He's best girl in JoJo's. So they get home. Brando, he's like, haha, I'm rejecting my humanity. And then, I forgot to mention this earlier, the Lock Veil will turn humans into vampires. So he rejects his humanity, turns into a vampire, burns down the Joestar mansion, and George Joestar dies. Unfortunately, the newly turned vampire does not die. It's gonna become a theme, so I hope you're okay with that. And then they meet this Mysterian Baron named Zeppeli. He's like, I'm gonna teach you how to defeat vampires with sunlight meditation. It's called the Ripple, I guess. I'm gonna call it the Ripple because it's quicker than sunlight meditation. And they train, and Zeppeli's like, oh kid, you're a natural. And then they go and fight this guy. I need to... There we go. 2 attempts, I'm on the second attempt. And then they go and fight this vampire in a cave that rains blood. Also, Jack the Ripper is there. He comes out of a horse. And then he's gone, like, dead. This is all in, like, the first 9 episodes of the entire series, so buckle up, guys. And then they have this big climactic fight. There's 2 knights there that were around when Mary and Elizabeth, was it? Maybe it was the war. 1 minute. Mary, Queen of Scots, and who was her rival? Didn't she have a rival? I don't know, UK. Anyways, there were these 2 knights. They have a sad backstory. It's not really elaborated on. Oh, and Baron Zeppeli dies, and it's sad, and he gives over the last of his ripple energy, and oh wow, this is so and and Lord Joestar defeats his brother, but except no, he actually didn't die. Like I said, this is a trend, keep up. And Vampire, this guy crashes his honeymoon, kills him, steals his body, but don't worry, Arina's fine. Apparently she was pregnant the whole time, and also she adopts a kid. End of part 1. 19 minutes? I feel like I've been sitting here forever. Alright. One minute, I'm looking up that Targets and Bluefoot fight because, that's what I was talking about with, those knights. Wait, Jack the Ripper was only mentioned? Okay, Oh, Mary Stuart. Is that Mary Queen of Scots? Yeah. Okay. That was a lot. But we can change it. We're now moving on to part 2, battle tendency. Well, man, I'm gonna clean this up a bit. I probably should have thought this through a little more. Okay. Gonna clean that up a bit. There we go. Part 2, battle tendency. I can finally say Jonathan's name now, so I don't have to keep referring to him as Void Joestar. Anyways, he dies. It's real tragic. But his grandson... I can't call him Joey Joestar. But I can't just keep calling all of them Jojo, because that's gonna get confusing. And I can't even refer to him with his last name, because we just had like 10-15 minutes of me referring to his grandfather as Lord Joestar, and that's gonna get confusing. I'll call him Trickster Joestar. I'll call him Trickster. Anyways, his grandson is a Trickster, and oh, I just realized how much I don't remember a lot of battle tendency. Alright. He is not nearly as much of a perfect British gentleman, but also he's American, so one of his powers is, and I kid you not, a gun. A Tommy gun. Like I said, no, this is not a joke. Anyways, he inherited Hamon, the Ripple, as I was calling it for the last 15-ish minutes, and apparently he's pretty good at it. And we found out what made Dio, the adopted brother from the last part, into a vampire. So, he's off to go and finish them off. Okay. Unfortunately, there's a lot more where that came from, and this new race of humanoids called, I'm gonna steal from Vivo Lovely, call them Fellows. They, emerge, and they're like, hey, we want this rock, and it's gonna let us see the sun and stuff. I probably should have watched part 2 a little more than, but you know, we're moving on. And so he and his best buddy, you know, hetero life partner, well, not for long, Caesar Zeppeli, they train in Hamon under the mysterious Lisa. Remember how I said that Elena rescued a baby back when I was explaining part 1? That'll be important later. And so, they finished their training, which included but wasn't limited to, crawling out of a pit of oil with a mask on. A metal one at that, so if by some course anti-maskers find this, wear your masks. Jeez, it's not that hard, and it's not about not getting COVID, it's that so you can protect others from yourself. Also, it like really helps with allergies and air pollution. It's pretty nice. And then they have to fight the Column fellas. Caesar strikes out on his own at one point. He's crushed by a rock. It's a whole meme. I did a cover of Caesar's death theme, as a lot of people call it. However, its proper name is let's see. Let's see. Il mare eterno nella mia anima, or the eternal sea within, or the sea eternal within my soul, or the eternal sea within my soul, or something like that. I have a lot of fun singing it. I will not sing it because I've been rambling enough. I have a cover on my channel. You can do some digging. And anyways, he dies. It's sad, and I forgot to mention this, but Trickster Joestar has a wedding ring of death around. 2 wedding rings of death. Polyamory for the win, I guess. Ha ha ha. But anyways, if he doesn't win against the Column fellas in a timely manner, or at least within the month, he's dead. He does. He wins, he loses his arm, and oh hey, remember that baby I mentioned? You know, the one that Arena saved back in part 1? That was Lisa, who happens to be Trickster Joestar's mom. I know I skipped a lot. I haven't watched part 2. It's not my favorite. Deal with it. Oh, hello. Welcome. Alright. This is going to be a lot harder, because then we have stands showing up. Okay, so part 3 opens up with we find out that Joseph, our Jojo from the last part, who I referred to as Trickster Joestar, runs into Cujo. Mr. Cujo. I can start referring to them by their last names because they're having last names now. I'm so hyped. We're not going to cover part 7 and 8. And part 9 isn't even finished yet, so don't even come with me with that. Okay, anyways. Cujo, he locks himself up in a jail because he is convinced he's possessed by an evil spirit. He is kind of possessed by a spirit, but it's not an evil spirit. It's a friendly punching ghost. And once he finds out it's friendly after being broken out of prison by his grandfather and his grandfather's friend named Abdul, who was too good for the series, it's named Star Platinum. And they have to go fight Dio. Remember him from part 1? Yeah. Remember how I said he should have died, but he doesn't? Once again, here we are, back with the same bit. So, they have to travel to Egypt to kill him before, not so friendly Vine Rose spirit thing kills Cujo's mom, Holly, who is a bit of an airhead, I'll admit, but it's okay. She's sweet. So then, but before that, we come across some guy with a green spirit named Hierophant Green. He attacks Cujo, but then we find out he's being possessed by Dio, and after some impromptu surgery, I guess that's what you'd call it, he joins the team, and then they head off to fight Dio. But oh, wait. You see, we haven't filled out our band of protagonists yet. We have technically the lead, our 5-man band, if you will. We have the leader, who I'd say is technically Joseph, because he does a lot more. He locks Fireball. I'm saying Abdul was too good for the series. He didn't deserve what happened to him. I'm saying I like him. Anyways. But we haven't finished our band of protagonists. We have the leader, Joseph, who I like in part 3 better than I liked him in part 2. The second in command, I guess, the Lancer, Jotaro. Listen, he has that whole edgy, it's not a phase, Gramps, thing, so he's definitely a Lancer. We have the smart guy, who's, I'd say Kakulan. He has a lot of the book smarts. I'd say he also shares the smart guy hat with Avdol, who is not only the smart guy for being the other only Stardust Crusader, hey, name drop, in the entire, but he's also emotionally intelligent. He immediately saw that Dio was up to no good, and he jumped out a window and ran. I respect, we respect our king out here. But you may be wondering, wait a minute, where is the comic relief? I'm getting to it. So they head to, I want to say, Hong Kong, and they find this man with, how would I put this? Pure of ass, dumb of heart. Listen, he's got a whole bakery going on, and he's got, huge man boobs. His name's Polnareff. He's French. I don't know how much more I need to say. He's the kind of the comic relief culture shock. And anyways, guess what? He's also being possessed by Dio, and after more impromptu surgery and some, they head off and to get to Egypt. Now, you may notice, and his spirit is named the Chariot. Now you may notice, Star Platinum, Hierophant Green, Silver Chariot. Jeez, Wise Hero, these all sound like tarot card names. Well, they are. Avdol has Magician's Red, and Joseph has Hermit Purple, and almost all of them now have they all have this tarot card theme going. You may be asking where the Fool is. He shows up eventually, but right now, Monster of the Week format, they fight their way through India and get their way to Egypt. Avdol dies, or fakes his death at one point. He gets better. It's okay, we're thriving. We're thriving, right? Right? Sure. Okay, something is up with my internet, but I feel like most people end up watching the VODs, so I'm gonna keep on talking. Okay. So finally we hit Egypt, and it's going great. Like I said, Avdol fakes his own death, and we need, someone else to keep everyone in check, so we bring in Iggy. He's a dog. His stand is called the Fool. Anyways, they fight more, and finally we meet the big bad evil guy, Dio. I skipped over a lot. Do I care? No, not really. Because, I'm gonna put a pause on explaining it without explaining JoJo's without saying these words, but Part 3 is so long. I usually don't like the idea of skipping parts of JoJo's because I do believe that they all have their own merits, and in order to get the best experience, you ought to watch it in its entirety. But we don't need the horny pedophile orangutan. We don't need whatever happened to Malaya and the fight with Bastard. We don't need Alessi with his weirdly horny and him being able to turn into kids. We did not need that. Okay, we didn't need any of that. Those are some episodes I don't mind if people skipped. Anyways, back to the challenge. So anyways, they need to fight Dio, and they do. Kakuin dies. Avdol and Iggy die, and Avdol is dead this time. Too good. He was too good for JoJo's. Too good. And, Jotaro defeats Dio by figuring out how to stop time, which is Dio's signature ability. And Holly is okay. Hooray! I keep forgetting how many Monster of the Week formats this is. You guys having fun? Yeah, sad. Sad. Anyways, are you guys having fun listening to me ramble? I'm having fun rambling. So we're gonna keep going until I reach part 6. Okay, now what should I ban? Because we've already banned stands, and I want to keep it, original. So we are gonna ban Josuke. Why don't we ban the word hand? Part 4, let's go. So it turns out Joseph Joestar, remember him, the old guy? He's even older now, and going senile. But apparently he had a love child, and that kid's name is Higashikata. That's his surname, I can't say its first name. Pompadour man. Pompadour boy, he's like 16. Anyways, he loves his pompadour. And he will fight you if you insult him. No, seriously, I'm sure somebody has done a compilation of every time he beat the snot out of someone for insulting his hair. Anyways, Jotaro, remember him? I couldn't say his name last time, so here I am saying it. His name's Jotaro. However, I'll refer to him as Dr. Kujo because he's working on his doctorate. No, not Elvis. Not Elvis. Oh, are you saying I could call him Elvis? But doesn't he canonically, enjoy Prince more? Anyways, so there's a serial killer, no, not that one, running around, and, he's dealt with in, the second episode, so he's not important. So, Higashikata-san, Higashikata-kin, Pompadour man, Pompadour boy. I'll come up with something snappier. He goes around beating the snot out of people and making them kind of friends. But oh no. Not as all well and good in the town of Morio, which is where this takes place. I forgot to mention it, but this takes place in a small town in Japan called Morio. Because there's a serial killer who has a, kink for... I should be allowed to say kink on YouTube. I'll say phalanges. If you know what bones the phalanges are, you know. And I'm not talking about feet. Anyways, he has a thing for phalanges. And, it's not good. He murdered a 14-year-old girl. A lot of people, he's like, oh, he's doing good. He's, killing the girls that, are stuck up and snotty. No, there's no excuse for murder. That's not an excuse for murder. Also, his first victim was 14. Anyways, so they go on some wacky hijinks to go and find the serial killer, whose name is Yoshikage Kira. He is 33 years old and currently resides in the northeast section of Moriocho, where all the villas are. He is not married, and I used to know the entire dub version of the monologue, but I don't anymore. I'll have to do a stream where I read, copy pastas and, the clean ones. And after meeting, making friends, punching friends, thinking they're getting attacked by some Italian chef, but actually he's just a good guy who has strange methods. We love Tonio Torasari in this household. He's just the sweetest. Anyways, they finally find Kira, and he's not killed by the protagonists. He's run over by an ambulance. I guess it makes sense because Josuke's pretty big on the no murder part philosophy. So yeah. Let's see. And thus ends part 4. I just realized how heavy Monster of the Week formula JoJo's is. Alright. Next part. So now we're going to talk about my favorite, part 5, and I'm expecting this to be the majority of the stream. So, remember Dio? He has a kid. First name Giovanna. I'll call him Jojo because he's my favorite, and he's just a little, and, however, I think you guys have probably figured out that this guy's my favorite. Anyways, Jojo, he wants to become a gangstar and take over his local organized crime company thing. And so, however, Jotaro, he's a little suspicious of Jojo, so he sends over Koichi from part 4. One of the few guys that Josuke did not beat up and then become friends with. No, they were just kind of bros from the beginning. And so Koichi shows up, gets robbed, and eventually, Jojo's like, you know what? We're cool. Well, not yet. Well, okay. I'm gonna back up. Well, attempt number 3, here we go. And I'm only starting from the first part. Part 5. Remember Dio? He has a kid. And I'm gonna call him Jojo because he's my favorite. And I'm not taking any constructive criticism or criticism. He's my favorite. I love him. Just a little guy. He's just a guy. And that's what's important about him. I could do an entire stream talking about Jojo, but we're not here to do that right now. So, it's hot. Jotaro sends Koichi to investigate this mysterious newest member of the family, and sure, Koichi gets robbed, but hey, it all balances out because some guy looks Jojo's face, calls him a liar, punches him. They have a fight, and Jojo's like, you know what? I'm not gonna kill you. You're a good guy. And then they have a mother-son relationship that's very sweet for like the 7.5 days. Oh yeah, or like the 2 weeks. So, Jojo, he's going to join La Familia Passione, and he runs into this guy. His name's Polpo, and he's like, "Hey, kid, did you know that murder is okay if the dude insults your honor?" And Jojo's like, "I really just like this guy." And then Polpo inadvertently attacks a different old guy. And Jojo's like, okay, I really hate this guy. So he passes his little examination, and JoJo becomes a member of La Familia, and kills Pulpo with a banana gun. And then we meet the rest of the team. We have Anger Issues Swiss Cheese Boy, Panna Cotta Fugo, Anger Issues Orange Boy, Naranja Girga, Stinky Gunslinger, Guido Mista, and ex-cop guy, Leone Abacchio, and Team Zippo Mom, and Team Mom and Zippo Guy, Bruno Bucciolati. So they are first tasked to find Pulpo's treasure in the toilet. No, seriously, that's where it was hidden. Did I forget to... You know what? If you're watching this, I hope you're not... If you're watching this and haven't seen all of JoJo's yet, I hope you aren't taking this as a comprehensive guide. I half remember most of this. And anyways, they turn over all of the cash, and Bruno Bucciolati is now a capo. And his first mission as capo is to escort the boss's daughter, Trish Una, to the boss. Now, Trish, I like her a lot. She should have had so much more screen time. And anyways, Monster of the Week style formula, but instead of, immobilizing them or turning them over to his side, JoJo just straight up kills them. I mean, it's not like he's going out of his way to kill these guys, but, to be fair, Malone had it coming. If you don't know who Malone is, well, let's just say he's a major creep. And this is coming from, ugh. And I don't say this lightly, and I'm sure that Giorno thinks that, Okay. Restarting. Okay. There's this kid, his name's JoJo, and he wants to become a gangster by joining his local organized crime organization. I probably could have phrased that better. Anyways. And he does, after stealing Koichi's lunch luggage, killing one guy and making one of his friends becomes a capo, and they're tasked to escort the boss's daughter to the boss. And they have their Monster of the Week style formula, where they have a stand user, and he seems unbeatable, but then they beat him, and he's dead. And this time, Giorno... I'm so used to addressing him by his first name. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Vento Audio. Okay. JoJo, he wants to become a gangstar, so he joins the local crime organization to become a gangstar. After stealing some kid's luggage, killing a guy with a banana gun, and drinking pee. Yes, pretty much in that order. Anyways, their first task is to escort Trish Una to the boss. Now, Trish is the boss's daughter, and like I said, they have their Monster of the Week style formula. Stand. There's a guy with a stand. Guy's stand seems unbeatable. They win through sheer willpower, and they die somehow. So, then, once they get Trish to her father, it turns out her father is the actual worst and tries to kill her. So now they're on the run from La Familia, and more Monster of Enemy of the Week style shenanigans, and eventually, okay. my memory of JoJo's is a lot more garbled than I remember. Enemy of the week style formula. And eventually, they win. JoJo is the head of La Familia. A lot of guys die. Some of them we actually care about. It's never expanded on, and the fact that he is Dio's son is never expanded on. The end. Now, I would have loved to talk about part 6, but I haven't finished it. However, part of me doesn't really feel the need to finish it because some JoJo fans can't keep quiet. I'd say after almost an hour of talking about JoJo's. The irony is not lost on me. Don't worry. But some can't keep their, can't keep their mouths shut about spoilers. Especially when the anime hasn't come out and it was manga only. So I'm gonna have to finish up part 6. And I guess just keep reading. I know it was a strange stream, but I hope you had fun. Hopefully I'll be streaming tomorrow. I have something. I don't think I'll continue this, but if you liked it, ring that bell. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like all that jazz. Bye.